Okay, we're gonna go through a quick VIN history walkthrough. And let's say that you bought your VIN history from Car Value Scout. You would go to My Account after you're logged in, of course. And under My Account, we're gonna go to My VIN Reports, and you'll view your reports. We have VIN history. We also have Car Value Scout reports. That's another video. Let's go to VIN history, and we'll choose this particular one here. We can download a PDF of the entire report, or we can view it as an HTML. We'll choose that for this particular video. It opens it up, and you can see that you have the complete VIN history report. There's the VIN number and when it was generated, and we'll scroll down. So you have the vehicle summary overview. Basically, you're going to go through this. There apparently is an accident record. It will show up down below. We have service and repair, 28 records, recalls, 2 records found. Mileage record, we have 25 records found. And there's been multiple owners. Now, it won't necessarily tell you who the owners were all the time. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But it will mention that there were multiple owners. The more important thing is what the car has been used for, and to cover all the different features. Now, as you go down, the vehicle specifications, it tells you the exact engine, displacement, the drive type, the front wheel drive, the fuel, gives you the body, it's a 4-door, it's got 177,000 miles on it, and so on and so forth, and when the odometer was last read. So that's kind of important to see that information. Now, there's 2 accidents reported, and the full details are below here. So you can see there was an accident in looks like July of 2020. It tells you the damage. Okay, the accident damage report, minor damage reported, right side damage or repair reported, and it goes on. Now, a lot of times they'll give you the actual case number, and you can look those up in the records files of your local city. Here's another accident happened in March, it looks like, of 2021. Accident and damage, minor damage again. So these are not things to worry about. And of course, it gives you that strong recommendation that you find out about the accident. But at least you know that there was an accident. If you ask the owner, he says, oh no, there's been no accidents. Well, that's a red flag. Now, the title brand check, we're talking about hail and fire. These are claims for insurance claims. There's been nothing claimed. It's always good when you see the green. And then we got damage verification. Once again, as long as you see the green here, you're good. Okay, crash test record, all this salvage auction. There was never a salvage title, never a junk. So all this green is good stuff. Event verification, no insurance loss record. Once again, we go down this list here. Lien records, all that stuff. There's no lien on it. So we go down and it's all green. You want to see all green. Stolen vehicle check. It checks for a stolen vehicle. There's been no stolen vehicles. And in this case, the ownership history just shows the one owner, the current owner right now, and when he purchased it. So he purchased it in 2025. Now, if you see that he purchased it 1 or 2 months ago, that person's flipping the car. So that's a buyer beware, okay? But if you see something like this where he's owned it over a year, he bought it to drive it. Now we have the odometer history. This is very important. You can actually go down the list and see the odometer climbs. And it should climb. Everyone should go up. And if you see one that doesn't go up, there might be a problem. Now here there was a 4-year difference before the odometer was checked again, which means the car was driven and maybe the person who owned it did their own service. But typically odometer mileage readings come in when people do maintenance to the car. If they're doing oil changes and stuff like that, it gets reported typically. Doesn't always, but most of the time. It also shows you the state. Now we have service and maintenance history. There's 28 records found. Now, a lot of times they'll tell you exactly what was done over here, but on this particular car, they just have the date and who did the work. So you can see that it was serviced on a regular basis. That's a good sign. You go through the list here and you can see that, they brought it to Tire Mart. There's all kinds of things here you can look at. But I've seen these where when the person doing the work logs all the information in. This person didn't. They didn't log the information, but sometimes they do, and I could show you reports with that, by the way, that we get. Now the inspection records. There were 2 inspection records, and they're actually not available. I do have reports that have the full inspection record, why they inspected it, what they found. And then we go through the detailed history, 9 events. And this is kind of cool because it says the vehicle was serviced on 3/29/2016, and it tells you what's been done. The oil filter was changed, stuff like that. We have the vehicle serviced here, but they didn't explain what they did. Once again, Nissan from North America, apparently this was a recall. So they gave you all the information on the recall. And then once again, the vehicle was serviced. They didn't put any information down. And typically you'll see that what's happening here is the vehicle's been looked at. Now, it says here, safety recalls, 9 open recalls found, contact the dealer for free repair. It's going to give you the 9 recalls with a campaign number. And it also gives you a phone number to call, by the way. Don't take this as exactly what's going on. What you want to do is you want to key your VIN number in. If you see recalls are open, you want to find out, because a lot of times the dealer will do the recall and not report it. They'll actually fix it and not report it to the databases that the car dealers get, like this one. So you want to check it on your own, and I'll show you how to do that. What you do, see it says completed recalls 2. That's not accurate. I'll show you why. If we go into this website, the NHTSA, this is a national database that checks recalls. Now, I've pre-keyed this in, okay, to save time, but that's the VIN number from that vehicle we were looking at. So let's do a search. And now we're going to search, and it wants us to do the crosswalk thing. Okay, great. There's a crosswalk, there's a crosswalk, there's a crosswalk, there's a crosswalk. Okay. So now it opens up the information for us to look at. 1 unrepaired recall. So there's the vehicle. And there's only 1 that's been not completed. Now what's cool about this is as you go down, it actually tells you about the recall. It gives you the safety risk. It gives you the remedy and the manufacturer's note. So you can contact Nissan and have this done for free. It's really what it boils down to. If they don't take care of it, you can literally contact NHTSA and tell them what's going on, and they'll help you get it done. So this tells you where to find the VIN number, which we've already done in our course, and then what information will be displayed, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of important that you check this kind of stuff out, because you don't want to be left with an open recall. Okay, so we're back in the VIN History Report now, and the vehicle usage. Once again, this car has been used personally. That's excellent. You don't want it to be a fleet vehicle or a rental vehicle or lease records found or taxi, because then you got zillions of miles, for police use, once again, government use, all this stuff here. If it would show up. But typically you'll see personal use. And this is cool. It gives you the market value. So if you're going to trade it in and it's in outstanding condition, it gives you that value, private party value, and also dealer retail. And by the way, as you can see, trade in, you're going to take a hit. I really recommend people don't trade their car in. They need to sell their car privately. We teach you how to do that. Or you can, trade it to the dealer and let them make all the money on it, but that's up to you. So the warranty information is kind of cool. It gives you what the original warranty was. It gives you the corrosion warranty, the powertrain warranty, all this, and it's all expired, by the way, because the car is not that new, obviously. And then here it gives you the common repair cost is 73 services. Now this is good to know. If you needed something done, you could figure out roughly what it's going to cost before you even bring it in for repairs, and see if you want to do it or just maybe sell it or turn it over to an independent. As you can see, they also give you the air conditioning recharge, prices, estimated prices. In an independent shop at $266, a dealership $255. In this case, the dealership's cheaper, but a lot of times you'll see that If you bring it to an independent, you're going to save a lot of money on different repairs. I don't know about this particular car, but you can go through and you can see these are identical. I mean, a lot of this stuff is exactly the same price, which is really amazing. The brake rotors resurfaced, you'll pay $187 at an independent, $199 at a dealership. So as you can see, some of this stuff, it's not worth having. You can go anywhere and get it done is what they're pretty much telling you. But there are times when this stuff comes up with a very high price. And then it's worth you checking out whether you should let a dealership fix it or not. But the only times I've seen it where it's a big difference was with a transmission replacement. A lot of times what they'll do is a dealership will charge you almost a couple $1,000s more for the transmission than you would at a private transmission shop. But as you can see here in this particular vehicle, the cost of repairs is very similar, except for here's one, timing belt replacement. An independent shop, you'll pay almost $500. At a dealership, you're going to pay $1,000. That's $500. That's twice the price. So it does make a difference. And once again, tire pressure sensor replacement. Independent shop, $259. Dealership, $323, $75 more. So it's good to know this stuff. It's kind of handy. Transmission replace here, you're only talking $500 difference between independent shop and a dealership. So this gives you a rough idea. It's kind of nice. Now the maintenance record, the only reason you want to look at this as far as I'm concerned is when you're looking at the records, you want to see that certain things are done in their records. If they have, in other words, a whole list, like a folder. A lot of people will keep a folder of everything they've done on their car. So if you look at this and you see that they had suspension, looked at and so forth, the brake pads looked at, drum linings at 60,000 miles, that kind of thing you want to see. A lot of times transmissions need to be serviced at 100,000 miles, and that's something you want to see. And that's it. So there you have it. That's the walkthrough of the complete VIN History Report, how to double check on your recalls. And if you've gone through all my other lessons, you pretty much know exactly what to do with the vehicle history reports. And very, very valuable. You need to do this. You need to definitely get one of these before you buy a car. It's like having insurance and knowing exactly what's going on. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video series, by the way. This was the VIN History series. We have an actual 20-point anti-lemon checklist series, which we're going to put out, and it should be out very shortly if it's not out already. And it's going to walk you through exactly how to call somebody up on Marketplace or text them, what questions to ask, how to look at the vehicle, what to tell them to do for you, and how to drive the vehicle, how to do an inspection. We're also going to teach you how to use an OBD2 code reader. So if you can get your own codes, we're going to show you how to go to an auto parts store and let them read the codes for you if you don't want to do it yourself. And then how to find out what those codes are going to cost. So once again, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.